I was just 27 years old and sitting in the boardroom of a huge organization, finalizing a deal of the lifetime, 20 years deal. And I was there with the production head and the purchase. And they demanded something, and I blew up that deal. Let me tell you the background of this. Before this deal, I was working with India's top banks. I worked with ICICI Bank, I worked with HDFC Bank. Post that, I used to work as a CEO of a company. Post that, I had started my this venture. Till now, I was doing it for others. I was successful in my business also, and suddenly I got a deal of a lifetime. A huge organization with at that time with the profit of around 2 lakh crores a year. They required something. They required a specialty kind of product. They had invited bidding from entire India. That invited samples. People had sent their samples. I also had sent my samples, and my samples were approved out of 198 organizations, and it was a deal spanning for some 20 years, and revenues during those 20 years were uh, in terms of profit, if I say, in the span of 20 years, the minimum profit that we were looking at was some 36 crores in 20 years. So it was a huge deal. It was very, very important. While we were finalizing that deal, the production head and the purchase head, told me that we'll be doing this transaction this way. We'll be selling you the material. You will produce what we require, and then you again, sell back to us. I said, okay, that's a fair deal. And as they said, as our risk is much more, we would ask you to provide us the bank guarantee of 50 lakhs. And I panicked. See, let me give you the background of that, my mindset also. Prior to uh, starting my own business, I'd worked with ICICI Bank, I'd worked with HDFC Bank, I'd worked as a CEO of a company, and then I'd started my venture. So I was confident. I was, people used to call me sir always. So I had got this huge ego, and I thought that if my sample is approved out of providers of entire India, I definitely have an edge. I definitely have an edge. And on the other hand, I'm providing them with the service. The thing that I'm going to provide them is going to save them around 350 crores in the span of 20 years. So I'm helping them in a way. But that mindset I went over there. When they asked for the 50 lakhs bank guarantee, because they said, we'll be giving you the materials, then you will process, then you will again send it to us. In that process, our material will be at your place. So we'll need a solid bank guarantee. That means it had to be attached with FD, and I panicked. And I thought, these guys, I'm providing them service, whatever the profits I'm going to get, they are getting 10 times the profit. And being a small entrepreneur, I'm taking the risk. I will take their material, I will produce, then again I will send it to them, then I will bill them, then they will pay me. So I will be having a huge outstanding. I will get my money after 60 days. I'm putting my hard-earned money on the line, and they owe me this deal. They have to give me this deal because I'm doing them a favor. So when they demanded bank guarantee, I panicked. I went into argument. The things I'm telling you, I told them that this is all my risk. Where is your company's risk? I'm I am giving you my resources, I'll be putting up my manpower, I'll be putting up my working capital, and post that, I will be getting money after the 60 days. It is already long cycle for me. How do you expect me to give you a bank guarantee of 50 lakhs? This deal is not doable. And they argued, I argued, and the deal went sour. We could never finalize that deal. We could never finalize that. After so many years, when I look at myself at that time, I can relate with the blunders that I made. See, what they were thinking was also very much right. Because being a big company, you know, uh, they would have some, set rules, set guidelines. That they would be having their systems to deal with the vendors. They might have some experiences of the past, so they were carrying, those experiences, and I was carrying my experiences, where I was a superior human being. I was serving them. I was in a way helping them, and I was highly confident. Instead of properly negotiating and closing the deals somewhere in between, because being a big corporate, they would not budge much. If you are a small business, you will have to keep this thing in mind. Many times corporates don't budge much, but the person who is sitting with you is a human being. Instead of making it a game of arguments, if you try to close your deal properly, then you can meet somewhere in between. Say, after 30 days, every day the consignment was supposed to go from here to there, here to there. So practically, their risk was getting mitigated every day. I might have offered them, a 20 lakhs bank guarantee to get out of the situation and get the order. I might have used some closing techniques. I might have tried to persuade them. Instead, what I did was I panicked. I went into the arguments. I thought, these people are salaried people. What would they know about the pains of the entrepreneurs? Yeah, they might not be, knowing the pains of the entrepreneurs. But what do they care? What do they care? It was me ultimately who lost the deal. See, whenever you are dealing with people, you will have to understand that you will never win, any business with the arguments. With the arguments, you can win over the person, but you can never win over the business. Instead of that, learn proper negotiation tactics, learn proper closing techniques, and never ever be overconfident. When you think that you have all the ages and it is a zero sum game, there is never a zero sum game. See, because every deal has to be win-win. If only you are winning and your customer is not winning, then what do we say about that deal? And if your customer only wins and you don't win, then also that deal is not good. So remember, you cannot lose a 36 crore deals for just meager 50 lakhs. If you do not have those 50 lakhs, you will have to use proper negotiation technique, proper closing technique, and come at some resolution which should be amicable, which should be in the benefit of both the companies. Think over it.